your team for having me here. And I think it's a great thought process you guys have in starting something that is so informational and educating for the parents, because they really don't know what's the deal when it comes to high school and getting the kids ready for college, and so many things are out there. So I think your team is doing an awesome job of starting this and bringing in experts in different areas who own expertise and knowledge. And I also want to give a shout out of thanks and welcome to the people who have joined us today.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's a beautiful Saturday morning right here.
Yeah.
We see through the office screen, we can see the beautiful sun coming in and bright morning. My name is Anu, Anu Vilapakam, and as Priyanka said, I have a doctorate in microbiology from Tufts Medical School, Boston. And my area of expertise is in molecular microbiology, vaccine research, virology, bacteriology, you name the thing, the science, that's me. And after that, I went on to train postdoctoral training in Stanford Biological Sciences Department. And I also did a experimental researcher work there. Mm-hmm. And then I've been a master or a jack of all trades, because as much as I have experience in academia and science, I also have a strong background in the arts. Being a dance director, a choreographer, radio jockey for the popular station radios. Correct. Public speaking, how to synthesize matter and give it more effectively, how to give your stories a spin, how to engage the audience, how to enthrall them with your stories. Your stories don't have to be earth-shaking, but how do you captivate your audience? How do you catch their attention? And how do you leave a remarkable impression on them? Whether it's a scientific presentation, or it's a storytelling, or it's a public engagement. So between these words, I realize my passion is to encourage people or coach people. And then the parents, my friends, started bringing in their kids to me. Exactly. Hey, Anu, my teenager doesn't talk to me, but he listens to you. Right. So, do you want to talk? I'm sure as parents, you would realize that. So, I started coaching these kids and talking to them, and then I realized that whole world opened out to me, and this is my absolute passion. How to make a kid think about their experiences and events in their life. Yes, it's only 17 years, but they have beautiful stories to share that gives their personal side. Absolutely. And that's when my interest in essays started.
Absolutely. That's that's an incredible journey, I must say. And that really brings to my first question. Like, as a parent, if I just forget that my daughter is going to college, like a newbie parent, I would be like, tell me, what is this essay? In very layman, are they writing on a topic? What is this essay all about?
So, as you know, the college application consists of 4 components. Your GPA, your SAT scores, which have become optional for some colleges and not yet for some other. And then you have your extracurriculars, whatever you did during your high school years. And the 4th component is your essay. So the first 3 components go closer towards your academic quality or your academic quotient. And your essay is your personal quotient. What is the personality this student coming in has? Because if everybody is going to a department and applying for a particular program in a college, they all have a certain academic standing, like a certain amount of GPA, SAT scores, and things that get them at the door. But what gets you through the door is your personal quality. Because what more does this person have? What are their goals? What are their values in life? What do they thrive for? What is a passion that makes them jump out of their bed and go to do something? That is where your personal essay comes in. And the essay, for example, the main essay is the Common App, and it has 650 word limit, and they give you some 7 prompts looking into different aspects of your life, and you answer to those prompts.
So let me dig a little bit here. So what you are saying is that the essay is a medium to highlight a trait of your personality that you couldn't highlight through your academic results or data points.
Absolutely.
Right? And that helps them to understand you as a student. What kind of student are you what do you are as a portfolio? Like, okay, you're good at science, you're good, but you're very good at leadership. You're very good at organizing people. You're very good at problem solving, right? And I believe that's where you are going. Okay, great. So tell me then, in that case, what is not an essay? Like, if I say, oh, you know what, I have so many good qualities. I have my life. But then I'm sure there is a line where it says, this is not an essay.
Okay, so as you beautifully put it, you identify what you want or what is needed by identifying what is not needed and what is a no-no, right?
Yes.
So it is not a research paper. So don't squeeze your brains thinking, oh my God, this is a research paper. Let me apply all the formulas and things to write it out.
Correct.
Right. And it is not regurgitating your resume because, as I said, it is something that defines your personality, who you are as a person, that is not seen anywhere else in your application portfolio.
Correct.
So do not say, by the way, I did all these courses and it was 3.9, 3.9,
Yes,
3.9.
you do not repeat.
Yeah. So don't regurgitate your resume. And it is not a mastery of vocabulary. So you don't have to really dig in and bring high profile words.
Yes.
Or a transcript reading.
You know what? And actually, that was my next question was like, do you think when I'm writing this, I can write it in a very simple language, or it has to be like really like a high end literature where I'm seeing the words where even professor has to Google it? I mean, how do you beautify it? Is it all very content rich, or it is how you present it? What matters?
First, I would say write from your heart. For me,
Okay.
like if you see, you always say, like I jump with energy because coaching kids, bringing their passionate stories out is my jam. I am absolutely thrilled to see what story is going to come out of this beautiful kid who has walked into my office to get help. Right. So when something is as passionate and as burning a desire inside of me, it is simple, it is honest, and it comes out and touches your heart.
I think that's where it is. Like the story that touches your heart is the main ingredient. And how do you say that? It's the
same, yeah. And that is the crafting skill. But you have to have a beautiful idea and take it through the process and craft it to give a beautiful essay.
Absolutely. So I mean, this is great. If there are any questions, I do see there is a chat. Feel free to put it. Okay, so the question one is, given the same content, does it matter if you put it as a documentary or as a movie? Actually, that's a whole big topic, right? What are the kinds of essays are there? As I said, so, and coming to Ananya's question.
I would go towards a movie, because if you have a documentary that lists a bunch of things that has happened to you, events, experiences, what they are looking at is, you don't have to have earth-shaking stories, but what matters to you, what are your values? How do you say things that have happened to you? What are the insights and perspectives you have learned from your experiences, and what are the values you're carrying into college?
Yes.
So if I just give you a story that says, I was riding the bicycle and, I hit a dirt patch and I fell down. Okay, that's a documentary. Style. So imagine the same essay coming out, beautiful sunny morning, and I am paddling down the main street.
Okay.
Bam! I flew through the air and landed right on the road.
Yeah.
And I totally dazed out.
Yeah. So it actually adds the visualization.
Yes.
That's what I'm coming to, is like, I can visualize what would have happened with you.
So can I quiz you right now, Priyanka? I know you're up for a game, right?
Yeah.
What was it between the first sentence? I was biking and I hit a dirt patch.
It was very, I was not even interested to know what happened, but even there I was like, okay, what more happened? It was like so, I would say, so theoretical, right? It's like.
So that's why I say use your senses, because who are the best storytellers? You don't have to have a complicated story.
Correct.
It is how a honest story, how you quote it. Use your senses. Describe it to me. I always tell my kids, show me the action. Don't tell me.
Yeah.
Show me.
Exactly. Great. So thanks, Ananya, for that question. So another question I have is, what is the best college for engineering? Sorry, I would not be able to take that because that's not relevant to this topic, but we will definitely talk if the essay approach differs based on your major. I will definitely take that. But let's see. Another question I have is how to balance story versus facts in your essay. I like that.
Yes, question. Awesome question. I just love that the listeners are coming up with beautiful questions.
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in and coming up with such questions. So when you have stories and facts, right? Like they are the essence of your essay. I'm not saying no stories or no facts. Like bring them in together, but show me, put me in action. So you need to have the stories, and your facts will be the perspectives or the insights you learn from
that. Okay.
So those are unshakable, right? And the stories are uniquely you. For example, everybody would say, when life gives you lemon, make a lemonade. That's boring and overused and cliched.
Yeah.
But if you were to tell me an incident where, I went and did this audition, I didn't get selected, this is how I prepared, I played my heart out in this stage play,
Correct.
but nothing worked. But I came up with a different perspective that I could do background work for a stage play.
Yeah. That's true. And I will tell you a personal experience that I learned was what happens is when you have facts and then when you build a story on top of that, your story sounds so relevant and so honest because you have literally you have gone through that and you have a first time experience. It totally changes. So Jitendra, yeah, thanks a lot for that question. And I hope that answers your question. So, I mean, we are getting so many questions. So yeah, Surbi, I'm going to take that. Like, what do the students write about in their essay? How to cite my sources appropriately in my essays? Wow. Okay, there are so many. But yeah, I'm going to take those questions in between so that we don't. I mean, I have so much to cover in this podcast.
I know you're like super prepared.
I know. So let's take a backward step. So as you mentioned, what is the essay is utilized for? So that's my end result. Now, in order for me to get a very good essay, I need to work prior to that, right? I cannot do nothing in 4 years and then just sit in my 11th grade and like, I have to just highlight my personality. I'm sure there is a work that is put in to get that essay out in 4 years. So what is your suggestions out here that how should students start pre-thinking like maybe in as they start higher education or even in junior high? Should they start thinking about like, oh, you know what, I want to show my leadership skill, so I have to work towards that. I want to show my sportsmanship. I need to work in that area to showcase that.
Yeah, so there are two angles merging here. One being the extracurriculars they're thinking of because they need to own these extracurriculars. But I wouldn't necessarily say that all your essay material will come from that.
Correct.
Like for example, one of my students, he started cooking for his parents during the shutdown when he was studying from home. So every Saturday and Sunday, like he would watch Gordon Ramsay and he would create dishes for his family.
Wow.
And that became the passion. One of the paragraphs, like he wrote a montage type, which we would discuss soon. What different types
what are the different types of essays?
So you see, it's interesting how one topic.
Yeah, I know.
So he talked one paragraph about his love for his family, which he showed through his cooking experiences. And the family would sit there and give a yay or an A on a scale of 1 to 10.
Oh, wow.
And that is his bonding experience. And he's like, no matter where I go, I will start cooking for my roommates and my students, my friends I would hang out with in the college. And how beautiful is that? Is it just about cooking? No. It showcases his values in bonding with people and being opening to, learning new things in life.
Pushing his boundaries.
Yeah. So it's not just his extracurricular activity which he has done. He has done his basketball, his swimming, which can also come into the paragraph. So you don't have to limit yourself saying, oh, I better do this activity to get an essay off. Actually, it rolls out in a different way. The extracurricular activities can or may become part of your essay. But what is your burning things that you love? What are the 4 values? That's one of the value exercises I do. What are the 4 values about you?
So it is more about first you understand yourself and then see what traits you love about yourself and then start developing on it. And that will eventually come in your essay. Okay, great. So I think let's come to that one question I had before is like, does your approach to essay differs depending upon your major or it doesn't matter?
If most of the colleges go through Common App. So the Common App, they have 7 prongs, like either it's your identity or, any challenge you've faced or your academic background interest or something you love to do, something you've done for the community. So you don't necessarily have to declare your love for the subject in your main essay, unless you're answering a specific prompt where because the way I look at it, in fact, I tell my kids to dig deeper, unless they come to me and say, you know what, Dr. Anu, I really want to write about this area, because your interest in that major is already shown in your portfolio, in your GPA, in your score and your extracurriculars. Like if you're engineering, I've started engineering tinkering club in my school now. So you don't have to, but that's where the supplementals come in, because the supplementals, many colleges, the main essay is your Common App. And then they have supplementals where they ask, show me what you have done for your interest in this applied
Okay,
major.
great. Okay.
And that will be a shorter essay starting from 200 to 350
Okay.
words.
Got it, got it. Okay, great. That's a good
I
one.
think we have so much
So
to cover.
I know. So I'm hoping that answers the question of Abhigyan Mishra. So thanks for that question. And as I said, we will have another podcast for the college. This is completely focusing essay. Another question I have from Surbhi is, what do the students write about in their essay? I think that's what we have been covering for so far. And then how to cite my sources appropriately for in my essay. So this is again, so let's talk about what are the types of the essays, and are there any resources that we could utilize to build those kind of types of essays?
So I would like to have a detail on what exactly they mean by citing resources, because this is your personal story. So you are the resource yourself, things that have happened to you. In other words, let me put it this way: the specifications you have, right? Like that is your story, your life story, your experiences, or the people you know, the places you've gone. In fact, one of the experts I have trained with would say, your essays are going to come from 7 places. It's the people, the places, your co-curricular activities, your academic interest, your community situation, your leadership, and anything that jumps out to you, your skill or talent.
Absolutely.
Or your future.
Exactly.
Yes. So these are entirely your aspects, right? So while I may have done leadership and Priyanka here has done leadership, but we may have different experiences. From leadership, I would have learned something like collaboration and team management. She would have learned something as project goal setting and things like that, right? So our stories are different. Our umbrella topic may be the same. So that is where my experiences matter. If you're, for example, I would say the kids would ask me, what do you mean specific? Like, what do you mean? Don't write generalized essays, meaning take your resume and put it into because if your essay drops in the ground and I take it and remove Priyanka's name out and put Anu, and if that is accepted, that means it is so general an essay.
Yeah, exactly.
It has not spoken anything uniquely about you that I could use it to.
Yeah.
So that's where, how do you differentiate yourself? How do you add unique perspectives to your storytelling, to your rich experiences? 17 years is a lot of experience to accumulate.
Yeah, so stay true to yourself.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the questions from one of the listeners is how to be unique, and that's Vijay. So thanks Vijay for the question, and I think that's what you are saying is just true to be yourself. Do not try to be other, and tell your story, and you will be unique in your own way.
And also look, how to be unique here is the one mantra advice I would give for how to be unique.
Okay.
Uncliche the cliche.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's a good one.
So when you're writing about something, don't write oh, we worked so hard to win to victory. Guess what? There will be 10,000 other students saying how the preparation, the cliche topic, which we will get into soon.
Yes.
How our team worked hard to get to the victory. Guess what? That is a bread butter story of everybody else.
Exactly.
So talk about some problem that encountered which was unique, that how you helped solve or what you learned. You don't have to win in something to write an essay. Exactly. You can also talk about how you lost something, but you gained perspective and you applied yourself in a different area, and it motivated you to identify what matters to you.
Exactly. Okay, absolutely. Great. So, I mean, I have like so many questions to cover. I don't even know. I'm like, and I don't even know if I can, cover. I think one question I'll take, which is pretty nice, is from Karishma, is like, are the essay prompts same every year or do they change?
They do change. They are almost, the Common App essays are almost always the same, like they have 7 prompts. And as I said, it comes from, your background, your identity, your skill, a challenging time you faced that changed your perspective, or sometimes some event that changed your opinion and you developed a new set of opinions. But if you notice, the pattern in them is that they don't as much care about the event or the experience or the challenge that happened. It is always how that impacted you and how it changed your perspective. So connecting back to the, are the prompts the same? They had recently changed and introduced a gratitude prompt, with relevance to the COVID times. So I'm sure 2 years ago you didn't see that, right?
Yes,
so that is a change in Common App, COVID perspective related gratitude. Like what do you feel gratitude
about? And I think that's a very big one.
Yeah, and also think about it simplified. I would always tell my kids, tell me simple stories. Like one of my favorite bands, I mean the youngsters will roll their eyes probably, is Beatles.
Oh.
Why Beatles? Look at their words. Simple songs.
Yes.
Simple songs set to simple beats. but everybody who listens to it will remember the tune and the words.
Yes, because it's very simple and
That's exactly your essay too. Unique angles, but simple storytelling which touches the heart.
Yes, exactly. Great. So now let's move on and say that what are the various essays, common apps and uses and supplementals?
Okay, as I said, the common app, there is another thing which is the coalition app. If the colleges don't belong to the common app, they ask for coalition app. And then there are some unique colleges, for example, Georgetown University, that asks for its own prompt for 650 words.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I'm saying be aware to the colleges you're applying and the prompts and start planning ahead. So 650 words is a common app, and I told you there are 7 prompts that you can cater towards. And don't worry about the prompts as much. Tell a story and then see which prompt it caters to the most. Right. So instead of fitting your story to the prompt, first tell the story honestly, and it will open its way. Like I've seen this happen to all my students. So, and the coalition app is very similar to the common app. So if you apply for common app and have that essay, you can adjust it a bit and supplement. Supplementals are unique for the colleges.
Okay.
And some are general questions that would be, why this major, why this college, or what have you done in the interested area, and how do you connect our college to the future goals you have.
Okay, great.
But they may also have unique things like maybe if you're coming into Georgetown University, how would you contribute to the community and the growth of the community here? So that's where I think the supplementals, you need to research the school. And don't write a generalized essay. Like as I said, if Priyanka's essay works for Anu, it's not.
Yeah. I think that we have another follow-up great question is what are the umbrella topics that are common that one can uniquely use? Please share a good resource for these essays as well.
So the umbrella topic, as I said, it's not like one fixed formula for everybody.
Yeah.
But I work with Dr. Cynthia Polan. I've taken training with her, and my other essay guy, the college essay guy, is Ethan Sawyer. So these are the websites I'm going to share. The college essay guy, he calls himself. Amazing set of resources. A lot of resources are free, and you can navigate your way through it. But it gets complicated when there is so much to see and so much to read. Correct. So umbrella topics, as I said, your essay is going to come only from 7 or 8 areas. Your personality, the people and the places, your culture, your identity, your background, the places you've traveled that are memories.
Oh, yes.
The essence objects in your life. For example, I have what do you call an essence object? I have a pen which is 4-colored. It's a big pen, a simple pen. Priyanka is probably thinking like, how is the story going to come out? It has 4 colors, and that to me is my magical pen for coaching kids, because when they start talking and I'm interviewing them to dig out their stories, I start underlining with my red their highlights of importance. I put that in green, their definitions in black.
That's your essence of pen.
Yeah. So to me, that pen is a mark of my curiosity to shake the story out of that kid.
Oh, wow.
It is my motivation to get there and coach. That pen brings me so much happiness. It's a $2 pen, but look at the values.
Yes, it's adding.
So it comes out of your essence objects, your core curricular activities, the jobs you hold, the places you travel to, the interest in your academics and future goals. So right there I've spelled 8 areas. Your essay is definitely going to shake out of one of these. So those are the umbrella topics. And for resources, I would suggest a college essay guy, Ethan Sawyer. He has so many free resources, and he is I would say the guru of college essay training. And I've taken many courses with him, because as a coach, I continuously train myself, like every course that's possible, because I want to see the same formula doesn't apply for every kid. Correct. So what are the new tricks and tips I can come up with?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Great. Thanks a lot, Anu. I mean, I'm really having a great time talking to you and learning so much. So Shilpa, I'm going to hold on to that question because I also have a similar question associated with that. So I'm going to club them together. But moving on with my pre-noted questions is like, how much time do you think a student would take to write an essay, and how many essays they have to really, I mean, can they reuse and whatsoever?
Okay. So I would say so if you think about it, the whole process, as I said, some kids do that. They wing an essay last minute. They're like, it's like a term paper. I sit for 3 days, but think about it. 3 days versus 6 months. 6 months doesn't mean every day, but 6 months of thinking through it, ideation. So first I would say, make a solid foundation. How do you make a foundation? I am a master of saying 3 Ks and 2 Ps and 3 Ks, the 3 knows. Know your audience. Who are these people who are going to read your essay? They're admission committee members. They read essays like crazy throughout the day, day in and day out.
Yep.
So don't give them a boring essay that has not been thought
And they
through
will catch you.
and winged in 3 days. So
Yes.
the winging it doesn't work.
Correct.
And when they like, and when your essay is enthralling, engaging, captivating, they are going to be fighting for you in the committee, saying, you know what, Priyanka's essay came, and that is shining through.
Yeah.
I want to see Priyanka. She is equal in every other areas we have compared. So I want to know more. Guys, let's look into her folder more.
Right. And I think that's a window for you to show them who you are. I mean, that's a great opportunity for you to shine.
So your academic quotient, your GPAs, your test
and
scores, everything
personality
gets you at the door. What gets you into the door is your personal quotient.
Exactly.
Because they are also evaluating not just for you coming for that major, but how is the student, how is Priyanka going to be when she gets into the campus? Is she going to motivate the other kids? Is she going to contribute her part to the campus society here?
Correct.
You know, bigger things, not just academic core, right?
Yes, absolutely.
So ideation, so the 3 knows being know your audience, know your intention. Why are you saying this?
Correct.
Just don't regurgitate your resume.
Yes.
I am saying this to present myself, not in a very falsified way, present myself honestly. What my values are, what my desires are, what my burning passion is.
Correct.
What would I like to do in college? You don't have to answer everything, but a glimpse. And finally, know who you are all about. Unless you know that, you cannot write about yourself.
Exactly.
So get your 3 no's right.
Okay, absolutely. That's a great point. So, I mean, associated with that question I have is that I'm guessing they could use the essay if the prompts are same across the college, right? Okay. And then, just adding to the question do you think I should review my essay with my coach, with my family members, with my friends, and kind of get everybody's feedback? I mean, what's your guidance on that?
Okay, so I will give you my honest, from my coaching experience, my honest analytical, because I bring my science knowledge to it, an analyzed way of thinking at it, not just the art side of it, right? Write your essay. Your essay is your story. 100 people can say 100 things about it, but it's your story. It should have the elements of what a successful essay should be, how it caters to the audience, and how it addresses you and shows that extra personality that is missing in the rest of your application.
Right.
But at the end of the day, think about this. If you're taken that much time to ideate and think about it, the coach is your guy. Like I tell my students, I would fight for you. I would fight for you. I would rather you get up, because I would critique them and I would tell them, don't take it personal.
Yeah.
Because if you fall here and get up, guess what? I'm going to hold my hands around you and lift you up again.
Yes, absolutely.
And that will not happen when you submit the application there, right?
Yes.
So when you ask 100 people their opinion, your essay is no longer going to be your story, your voice, your control, your charm, your area. Okay. It's going to be 100 times different version of that.
Okay.
So ask for feedback. I wouldn't say no, but pick people in a certain way, like they should know you, understand who you are, and give them and ask specific questions. Don't ask, what do you think about my essay? Because then they will say, you know what, I don't like your ending. Somebody will say, I don't like your middle paragraph. I don't like your beginning. So it's going to be everything taken over, right? So instead, pick 1 or 2 specific people who mean a lot to you, who understand you, who get who you are, or understand your background, and tell them specifically, hey, you look at my essays now, you tell me, does this tell you something more about me?
Correct.
At a personal level, about my values, about my shares that you have not known before, prior?
Great.
What are the areas that shine through? What are the values that are shining through? Then they will be able to tell me specifically, oh yeah, I see. Oh, you talked about cooking for your family and making a routine. I see the care. Yes.
Right.
Otherwise, they'll say, I don't care. Why do you want to see Gordon Ramsay and cook?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I mean, then, I agree to that. So that's the reason I think people go out to a coach, because the coach do that exercise with the kid. They know that.
Are my values are my values coming through clearly? Does this essay add more to you understanding about me than what is not seen before?
Correct.
What are my values that are shining through? What are the specific areas that make you say, I got this kid.
Correct.
I can see your values. I can see, is there anything you understood newly about me that was not known to you before?
Right.
So you cannot ask these personal questions to 100 people. That's why
Right.
I'm saying get the feedback from people who matter, the very few people whose opinion matters to you, and don't change everything unless there is a valid reason to change.
Yeah. So I think in 2 minutes, sorry, I'm just echoing. Yeah. I think in just, I would just summarize this as like, take the expert feedback because you want to course correct yourself, but not deviate you from your original path. So be very careful. Feedback from loved ones are always good, but just be little cognizant on what you are using and what you are not using.
If I can give an example, so there were two kinds of feedbacks that happened. And one parent, I was helping her daughter, and she told the daughter to change the essay so it highlights how she had skipped kindergarten to get into first grade directly.
Yeah.
And she was so smart.
Okay.
And then so the girl had a beautiful essay with simple story, beautiful essay. Can you believe the essay was about thrifting?
Oh my God.
Experiences. You would never think you can. So I asked her again and again what mattered, like lot of values exercises. And I asked her what matters to her the most. And it was thrifting. So we re-engineered her way of saying, how can thrifting explain other activities?
Oh my God.
And how values shine through other activities. So is it really about thrifting?
Yeah.
No, but is thrifting opening the doorway to her beautiful values and her experiences in life? Yes. So she wrote this essay. It was 99% done. And then one fine day she went to her mom, and her mom is like, put the first grade where you skipped kindergarten and went into first grade. I tell students, write about, you don't really have memories about that, right? So I tell them, write about events that happened from 13 to 17, which are more relevant,
Exactly.
which you can think about, you can ponder and get insights about.
Yep. Absolutely. No, I mean, these are the great points. And I'm sure, parents are noting it down to make it to use for their kids. So another question I have is that you have already covered that how long will it take, and it's good to have a long time dedicated to your essay prep rather than just flinging in the last few months of it, right?
Yes.
So now question I have is like 3 reasons why students feel their essay is not great. I mean, how they can be critic to their own essay.
3 reasons why they feel that their essay is not. They have a lot of ideation, thinking should go through into it. If they're suddenly sitting in a corner and saying, I'm going to finish it in a week's time, it has not covered the depth. So what you're trying to say is like, I have a coaching slogan, which is like, show me the gold and less of the blue. Blue is generalized statements, conclusions or perspectives you have from an event. But the actual event and what happened to you is the specificities, that is the gold.
Okay.
So if you feel it's not good, it's because you've written a generalized idea. Oh, life gave me lemon, I made lemonade. Guess what? Everybody is going to talk about making lemonade. It is cliche.
Yeah.
So that is something, not having thought through or given enough time and space to work your ideas through, and not crafting it, because first you start as a thinker. I mean, we watch Shark Tank or other shows like that.
Yes.
Not every thought is recognized.
Correct.
So you should have like 20 thoughts, of which 6 or 7 will give you building stories, which is when you become a storyteller.
Correct.
And then the storyteller, imagine sitting around a campfire. Not every campfire story is great.
Yes.
But there are certain people who tell it with such eloquence and beauty and specificities and details and nail it. So you walk away saying, oh, that was an awesome story.
Yes.
But that story has to now go into writing, which means you have to bring in your writing experiences, how to build your dialogues and monologues and thoughts and actions and active verbs and senses and roll it into a beautiful essay.
Yes.
So if these things have not happened, you're going to sit with I also have an essay.
Yeah. So, another question I have, which is very relevant to this, is like, I may start developing an essay and I'm thinking like, oh, you know what, this trait is pretty common and it's all the students, then how would I stand out in my essay? So are there any cliche topic for college essays that we should avoid?
Yes. So cliche topics, I would tell you right away. First is take your resume, take the 6 activities you've done and put connecting sentences and give it as an essay. This essay, my essay now, is going to look like Priyanka's essay or Aaron's essay or Andrew's essay. So the other one is sports injury challenge and success, because it's often, it is personal. Yes, you got injured, but it's often repeated to and almost beaten to death.
Oh,
so the
overuse.
So think about the committee. The committee is jumping to fight for you, and if your essay is in the first 10 essays they read, okay, some impact will be left. But if it is the 150th essay they're reading for the day, it's going to be boring, cliched.
It's like I read the same thing.
I mean, yeah, I don't have anything speaking for this kid. Next, right? So, trusting teammates, overcoming adversity, refusing to quit. These are all common things everybody else will do. So one essay example, which I came across, which was beautifully crafted, was this person was doing gymnastics, and she hurt her knee and it had to be operated 3 times.
Okay.
And that pretty much sealed her gymnastics, all the future things.
Career opportunities.
But guess what? In that time, she still rolled in her wheelchair and then in her walking crutches and went there and coached the team by being a cheerleader, a positive spirit. And she took coaching, sports management.
Okay, got it.
Leadership and management.
Found her path in those
challenges. How cool is that? Because I was hurt, my career was sealed. They remember the event or the experience or the person who influences you to write the essay. It is not their admission. It is what came out of it. How did that change you? How did that motivate you? How did that transform you? How are you a person now with different perspectives and gathering of knowledge about life that you're applying to life? That is what
matters. Okay. So another one, which is like pretty much the last question I think for today would be is, the people who are reading my essay, they are like an individual with their own experiences, right? So their feedback would be very subjective. Like the way I read the essay and the way you read the essay, but would be different, and the takeaways are different. But since these are expert people, I am guessing they kind of know how to get the stuff out of the essay. And we should not be worried about, no, it's very subjective. They may like it, they may not like it. I think they know their work really well.
So yeah, I would tell you very simply, these are, there are also, how do you say, the committee is a, wide range of people, right? So somebody which is their first job, they would have worked in admissions committee and this is their first job, but they have experience working for that committee. And then there are directors who have like 20 years of expertise in handling. And we get some of these members for coaching us for my essay forums, which I attend as I train, as I said, I continuously train myself. So they say, grab the audience attention. Okay, keep it engaging. If they are not engaging, guess what? They will forget you. Tell an engaging story, keep it simple. Show, don't tell. For example, I'm not going to tell you how I'm a great coach. I'm going to show, because when the kid texts me or, sends me a message, I will tell them, here is your problem. Here is the thing. Let's work it out. When are you available next? Okay. I am engaging with them to show I care about them. I don't simply tell them, you know what?
So the coach can help you out there. And I think the one question I'm going to take from Jitendra is college accepting college coaching, essays in other media? I think the answer is no. The only way today is just putting down in the transcript and attach it as a document. There is no other ways, at least yet. You never know. Yeah. Things are changing every day.
And as I said, you don't have to shake the way by doing a different format for it.
Yeah.
It's an age-old standard format. Send me an essay. Yeah. Send an essay, but show your specificities, like show your qualities, show what matters to you, what is unique about you.
Yeah. And I think let's take these ones quick one. When to start working on writing the essay?
I would say the ideation, that notebook I talked to you about, it's a simple composition notebook and a pen or a pencil. Start having that on your table, at your table, and every week, if you can, starting 10th grade onwards.
Oh, nice. I like that idea.
One sentence.
Yeah.
One event. One thing. And as I said,
happened in the week.
All 20 ideas you would have will not mushroom into the essay.
Correct.
But when you look across, you will be surprised how much you have assimilated.
Yes.
This is for the kids who come to me and say, Auntie, my life is boring. I don't have anything to write about. I said, no, you have 17 years of presence in this beautiful world.
Yes.
You will have beautiful stories.
Okay.
And 11th grade, as in the spring, whether you want to go with a coach or you want to think it out your own, start working all through the spring and summer. So when you are in beginning of fall, when 12th starts and 12th grade starts and you're like, oh my God, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
You already are confident that you have one Common App essay done. And the confidence that you build from that experience will propel you into a faster speed for the rest of your essays.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, the answer is your ideal is 10, but you can start earlier.
Yeah.
And there is nothing wrong in that. It also depends on what you have been doing. If you have already started into venturing out and like exploring the world and you have started gaining experience, my suggestion would be like, start pinning down that. And, you should write essay about yourself. I would say, maybe 3 months. After 3 months, starting middle school, just write what you did. That's it. Very simple.
Yeah, that's why the notebook, right?
Yeah.
Don't think about an essay. Think about
what
your
you did.
journal.
Yeah. What you did, what's your experience, what's your learning, and then how you're going to improve yourself. If you think, there is so many things, and that's for an adult too. We say, if you want your personality to grow, understand yourself first, understand the area of strength, the weakness, and which way you want to navigate yourself. So yes, the student can do the same thing, but I would say do not get late than 10th grade if you really want a good essay. What to do when we get stuck writing an essay? And I think talk to your counselor, talk to your coach if you have one.
Let me tell you. Let me tell you a quick fix. I always tell, look at the forest and look for a specific golden tree. That's your gold and your, your blue. The blue is the eagle's view. Mostly you're stuck because you have zoomed in too close. So step out of that and say, what is the bigger picture I'm looking at? But the bigger picture by itself is a generalized idea, right?
Yeah.
So step back and bring in a story which is specific. And then think that is your goal, right?
Yeah.
So Priyanka's experience, her goal is going to be different from my goal.
Correct.
But then go to the blue, which is your generalization. What is the perspective you have gained from it?
Yep.
So when you're stuck, you're looking at something too close. Get back and ask your 3 no's. What is my intention to share this information with you? This paragraph, what is my intention? What is my goal? How is it being delivered to the audience? Am I saying all the details? Am I giving you the feel of the senses?
Okay.
That's how you get yourself unstuck. And don't stare at it and try to wing it in that day. Take a break, go away, come back after a few hours or the next day, and you will be able to see it in a newer perspective.
Amazing. I mean, I think this is like one of the golden advice. I'm going to use it for my career as well, because sometimes when I get stuck and I don't know which way to go, but great. And this is like literally going to be the last question because we are very close to the
I cannot believe that
we have finished. Yeah. So, and there is so much more to learn, and I'm sure, there will be more questions and we can definitely have another session of the podcast. So the last question is it necessary to have a coach?
Yeah, I would say yes. Of course,
I know
as a coach, but I tell my parents when they come to me I would not force them into a situation. Think it through, because many of the kids need that outside source of expertise and knowledge to help them. Because when I walk the kids through the brainstorming activities, they're like, I did not know I could pull stories from these areas in my life, Dr. Anu.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's why, because the coaches know, like I tell them literally, I interview them, I become their investigational journalist to make them open up a lot of brainstorming games that I do with them, which will give you a bunch of details about them, which they have not taken the time to sit and think through.
Yeah.
So when you do that, you have information falling out and you have these, what I call thought seeds, which will go into stories for their essays.
Absolutely.
So, and the coaches know what their weaknesses are and their strengths are to drive them continuously forward. But when you're working with parents and like, there's a lot of tension. And my students tell me, oh, we yell at each other all the time. So that is something you can avoid because the experts know what they're talking about and they know how to help you and get the work out of you.
I mean, yes. So the expert knows it all is my end line. And thank you so much for coming, on this forum and really talking us about all these great things. And I have learned a lot through this process. And, I would really like to thank you again. And definitely, we should definitely have another session of podcast. And for the listeners, thank you so much for coming and listening to us. And these information you cannot find it on Google. I mean, these are enriched information, enriched insight that you can only know when you talk to an expert. And that's what the objective of Grad Achiever is, to bring those such expert on this forum and have parents understand and get an insight. And we want to help you, and we can only help you when you help us. So feel free to come to visit our website, leave the topics, your suggestions, the topic that you would like to cover, and you would like us to bring on the experts. We would definitely love to hear that. So yeah, join our site, be a member, look into the podcast, the content that we have been working, and this is a completely, being developed by the moms who are very passionate about their kids and about the community, and Anu is one of them. So yes, so I definitely encourage you guys to visit our website more, and just let us know if there are any topics, and any last couple of words of expert advice, Anu, before we end it.
Can I take a few sentences? I
Yes.
just want to give a shout out to thanks to Priyanka and the team of Grad Achievers. They are just amazing moms in the communities who truly care. And I am so excited to be a part of this. Truly care about bringing information, expertise, knowledge. So this process doesn't have to be weird or confusing or, oh my God, stressful. Because the more we prepare ourselves by imbibing the knowledge, and they are doing their best to put this knowledge, bring in experts, not
Yes.
just one person, essay me, but so many people in different areas of application, to give the essence of the matter to people so they understand. The kids can tune in, the parents can tune in. So the road we walk is not dark and gloomy, but it is bright, filled with information. So your destination is clear and the journey you're taking is more empowering and encouraging. And a big shout out to Grad Achiever, and a humble thanks to all the parents and the students who tuned in today. And we have more things rolling our way.
Yep.
Oh, parting advice, right?
Yes.
Show me the gold. Okay. Don't tell me random stories. Show me the gold and care about your stories, because these are your values and your essences. Take pride, take courage, take
Yep.
pride in rolling it out for us.
Yeah, and I really love the way you said it. So I'm also gonna try. Let's walk this path with holding hands together. We are not alone, and it's not a gloomy path, but it's a bright, sunny, like a California. And let's not get overwhelmed, but let's enjoy this journey. There is a ample of learning, like a tremendous amount of learning for parents, for students. And I think we are like identifying and re-exploring ourselves as well in this journey. So parents, enjoy this journey. You are very lucky to have a kid who is going to the high schooler. This is going to change your life too. So enjoy it, and we'll meet you again very soon. Thanks. And you all take care, and happy Saturday. Just enjoy your weekend.
Bye.
Bye.